Alright, so we're going to go over a quick overview for the Infiltrator squad. So there's three different types of characters or models that exist inside of the Infiltrator squad. You have the Infiltrators, the Infiltrator Helix Adept, and the Infiltrator Sergeant. The stat line: movement of 6, weapon skill, ballistic skill 3, strength and toughness of 4, 2 wounds, 2 attacks, leadership 7, and a 3-up save. The Sergeant having 3 attacks and an 8 of leadership. He's a troop choice. You have a power ranking of 5, and this unit contains 1 Infiltrator Sergeant and 4 Infiltrators. It can include up to 4 additional Infiltrators and an Infiltrator Helix Adept for an extra 6 power. Each model in this unit is armed with a marksman bolt carbine, bolt pistol, frag, and crack grenades. So bolt pistol standard, the marksman bolt carbine, 24-inch range, rapid fire 1, which lets us use that beta bolter rule. Strength 4, damage 1. No AP. Now, what's really awesome is this. Each unmodified hit roll of a 6 made for this weapon's attacks automatically hits and results in a wound, meaning you do not have to make a wound roll for that attack. That's awesome. You shooting at vehicles, you hit on a 6, you automatically got a wound on it. Shooting at big monsters, Tyranids, demons, that's awesome. It gives these guys a lot more flexibility out there. And again, that beta bolter rule. Okay, frag grenades, crack grenades, same thing across the board. Abilities, and they should know no fear. Basically, you get to re-roll their morale checks. Combat squads, if you have 10, you can break them into 2 squads of 5 for grabbing positions. Concealed positions, when you set this unit up during deployment, it can be set up anywhere on the battlefield that is more than 9 inches away from an enemy deployment zone and any enemy models. So, gives you some good flexibility. Omni Scramblers, enemy units that are set up on the battlefield as reinforcements cannot be set up within 12 inches of this unit. That's amazing. Huge bowl of denial. Stops enemy deep striking, rapid fire range for most weapons, flamer range, etc., etc. Now this is really exciting. The Helix Adept. At the end of your movement phase, an Infiltrator Helix Adept can attempt to heal or revive 1 model from its unit. If the Infiltrator Helix Adept's unit contains a wounded model, that model regains 1 lost wound. If its unit contains no wounded models, but 1 or more of its models have been slain during the battle, roll a d6. On a 5-up, 1 slain model is returned to the unit with 1 wound remaining. If the Infiltrator Helix Adept fails to revive a model, he cannot shoot in your next shooting phase, as he recovers the gene seed of the fallen warrior. So each turn, you get a free wound back, or you get an attempt to bring a model back. 5-up for something that is in a power 5 squad, that's not too bad at all. Next ability, smoke grenades. Once per battle, instead of shooting any weapons in the shooting phase, this unit can use its smoke grenades until your next shooting phase. Your opponent must subtract 1 from hit rolls for attacks made with ranged weapons against that target unit. So basically the smoke grenade roll from Rhinos. Faction keywords: Imperium, Adeptus Astartes, whatever chapter you're running, Infantry, Phobos, Primaris, and Infiltrator Squad. The Phobos armor lets us be targeted by our new Vanguard Librarian, which is pretty awesome. There's a lot of utility in this squad. I'm excited to get these guys out on the field. Okay. Yeah, I think they're gonna be pretty unique on the battlefield. All right, so I wanted to give you guys a closer look at these models. This is the Sergeant for the unit. I like his hand posture. He's utilizing those non-verbal communication skills. All right, because this will be an infiltrator type unit. This will be sneaking in behind enemy units. So I like how that's kind of captured there in the model. He has his bolter kind of underslung, and he's got his Palm Pilot going on his wrist there. So good option there for some painting. Get some lens techniques in. A lot of pouches on the armor, a lot of detail throughout. All in all, pretty good model. The face, be fun to paint, I believe. Have a pretty good time with this guy. So that is the sergeant for the unit. Put him out of the way. Next up is that Helix Adept character. Alright, you have the little medical syringe there. Right, kind of along all the same lines of the apothecary units. Got his bolter to the side, like he's checking. About to reload maybe. Alright, again, the pouches across the model. Got his bolt pistol. Pretty standard armor across. More pouches. Has his medical bag there. The same logo we see across with the apothecaries. Again, good clean detail across the model. That is the Helix Adept. I think this guy is what really makes this unit special in my mind. You know, this character here, just your basic infiltrator. Now, this one has got a unique pose to it. He looks like he's more of a command type position. So if you decided to run them in combat squads, this could be your second squad, not combat squads, but 2 different units of 5. This could be the secondary sergeant type commander or character. Good pose, decent detail throughout. Pouches for days, grenades for days. See, in the old models, you'd have to add those on separately, right? Which, you know, is kind of a pain, but give you some options, right? Your characters could be much more unique, right? Give you some flexibility in your design. But good face. I think that would be fun to paint up too. A lot of detail. Hey, these models definitely don't skimp on the detail. Okay. Would have liked to have seen the sling kind of come down and around. You know, some of these units, you know, some of these guys have slings, some of them don't. You know, would have liked to have seen some more consistency across there. In the old days, if a model had a sling on it, that individual was probably a little bit more of an elite type soldier. Okay. This guy here, this is a pretty cool sculpt. He's kind of just dropping that smoke grenade out. I think it's very nice as a model. These types of models, though, I'm not really a big fan of, because on the tabletop, he's always throwing that grenade. You know, he really can't be doing, you know, much else in the imagination, you know, except for throwing that grenade. You know, he's got his bolter in his left hand, which is pretty rare to see a Space Marine being left-handed. I think the only time we've seen something like that was with that Imperial Space Marine model. But pretty cool. I like that they gave us an option for the smoke grenade being thrown. I would have liked to have seen it be its own bit that we could put on whichever model we wanted. That way we could get some more detail in this unit. Because, as you're about to see, that's about it for uniqueness. Okay? The next 6 models in this squad come in a group of twins. So, Infiltrator and Infiltrator. Kind of seeing double here. Right? You know, so that's kind of a shame. Some more of those customizing bits would have been nice, but these guys are identical across the board here. So, nothing too special about them. Put these guys here. Our next group of twins. Right. I think it's pretty cool, the idea of slinging the bolter. I'm not a huge fan of the supported pistol type look. I don't think a 8-foot tall super soldier that's genetically modified with mechanical armor would need to steady his aim. I would have liked to have seen him like single hand with the bolt pistol and his other hand going for a grenade or checking his Twitter, something. But again, the model itself is nice, but I don't think we needed 2 of them for a 10-man squad. If that makes any kind of sense. Alright. And then our last model. Again, hey look, a group of twins. And then what's really a shame too is that most people who paint up Space Marines, they play them, pretty clean, pretty unique, very uniform. So the uniqueness kind of goes away when they have the exact same positioning, right? So 10-man group, 6 of them are identical, right? But yeah, so that is the Infiltrator squad that you get in that Shadowspear box set. Alright, again, I'm very excited about that Helix Adept type character. Like, part of me wishes he was an upgrade that you could get in any Primaris unit, but that'd be kind of wish listing, I think. Yeah. Again, the grenade guy is pretty cool, but all in all, I'm kind of disappointed in our twin type models. But, tell me what you think, right? Everyone's got their own opinions. Alright, also inside the Codex Adeptus Astartes Vanguard Space Marines, it's a little mini codex you get inside the Shadowspear box. They give you some examples of some paint schemes for Dark Angels, White Scars, Space Wolves, Imperial Fists, Salamanders, Raven Guard, and Blood Angels and Iron Hands. It's pretty unique characterizing these guys. I think inside the Raven Guard, not too necessary because they already get those scout moves kind of built in. I don't really see any point in running the Salamanders, but Imperial Fist, that yellow, always gorgeous. Dark Angels, get them some more flexibility in the battlefield. White Scars, Blood Angels, and Iron Hands. It's just pretty good looking armor, I think. Some people are kind of turned off by the different shoulder pauldron sizes, the large and small. But all in all, I think it's a good aesthetic, and it breaks it up a little bit from the intercessors. So, some examples of what you can do with these models once you get them.